Tonight on CTV News at 6, downtown deal approved. $400 million project goes ahead despite the dismay of some councillors.
We absolutely have a gun to our head. We have been held hostage throughout the entirety of this process because we've been unwilling to ever push back.
The mayor and the minister meet about bike lanes.
It was positive to hear Edmonton at least commit to a traffic impact assessment on the negative effects.
And facing a possible teacher strike, some parents exploring their options.
Can pretty well choose to teach their kids what they want, when they want, and how they want.
Sunny and hot all week long, with daytime highs taking a run at records almost every single day this week.
CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Jeff Hastings.
Good evening. Edmonton City Council has approved a deal for downtown worth more than $400 million. The province and the Oilers promised major contributions on some key city goals. That's if the city agreed to build a new event park next to Rogers Place. Jeremy Thompson has been down at City Hall for the discussion today and joins us live with the latest. Jer, this was a contentious decision.
Yeah, it certainly was, Jeff, although in the end it was not an especially close vote at 9-4 in favor, though many councillors, including some who voted for this deal, felt they were strong-armed into it by the province, foregoing some of the city's normal checks and policies in order to meet what they considered an arbitrary deadline. The Alberta government announced big plans for this area beside Rogers Place in its budget last February, working with the Oilers Sports and Entertainment Group on a plan to transform Fan Park into a $250 million event park.
A facility that will further allow us to attract more events and attract more people to live, work, and play downtown.
The event park is just one part of the proposal. It also includes money to put pipes and wires under the land north of Rogers Place, where the Oilers Group plans to build housing, plus millions more to demolish the Coliseum. City staff have been negotiating the deal for months, and the terms are now set. The province will put up $183 million. The city's portion is $138 million, with the Oilers contributing $87 million.
Our recommendation would be it's approving what is in front of you and not looking to renegotiate, as the timing just does not allow for that.
The deal is all or nothing. That includes parts of the deal council wasn't aware of until late last week, like allowing trade shows and conferences at the event park, which could take business away from the city's existing conference centers, plus soft language on housing requirements.
I'm frustrated because the whole point of this was to build housing. Now there is no legal requirement to build housing, and I cannot understand how we are okay with that.
All three parties signed a memorandum of understanding back in June that set September 1st as the deadline for the deal. Pressure many councillors believe is arbitrary.
When I look through the priorities that we looked at in our 4-year budget, an event park downtown was not one of them. This is not our idea. This is one business provider's idea.
We absolutely have a gun to our head. We've been held hostage throughout the entirety of this process because we've been unwilling to ever push back.
This really is a take it or leave it situation, and we have to respond to the situation that's in front of us.
Now that this deal is inked, the provincial grant money to fund all three of these projects can start flowing, and demolition on the Coliseum will likely begin sometime next year. There will also likely be a few hundred homes north of Rogers Place by 2028, with the event park coming online the year after that. Now, we did also hear from the Oilers Entertainment Group. A spokesperson there, Tim Shipton, says that the deal is a prime example of what can be accomplished when governments work with the private sector to ensure a prosperous and vibrant downtown. Jeff?
All right. Thank you, Jeremy. That's Jeremy Thompson live tonight. Alberta's transportation minister is promising new legislation to make sure future bike lane projects make sense for where they're planned. As CTV's Evan Kenny reports, that promise comes too late for one Edmonton neighborhood.
If any developer for any municipality wants to add a new road, we asked for a traffic impact assessment.
Alberta's transportation minister is hearing from people living in north central Edmonton about their concerns over new bike lanes and traffic calming measures.
The original consultation for the $100 million of bike lanes was a broad concept, so it didn't have specific streets or avenues built into it.
The city started public consultation in 2019 and spoke with more than 11,000 Edmontonians. This area already has bike lanes on 119th Avenue and 101st Street. The city is getting ready to construct more on 96th and 92nd Street.
There's a shared use pathway with bicycles painted on the ground, and there's an east-west protected bike lane 4 blocks that way. So we're good.
Back in May, people in the neighborhood asked the province to intervene in the city's plans. The group also gathered more than 260 signatures petitioning the city to stop the project.
I want to raise the awareness on this issue that people aren't being consulted.
The minister also met with Mayor Amarjeet Sohi.
It was positive to hear Edmonton at least commit to a traffic impact assessment on the negative effects that a road network would have if a bike lane were to remove parking or remove a complete driving lane.
Out of $100 million that we're investing in active modes of transportation, only $20 million is actually going toward building a bike network on road, taking road capacity.
So he says the Delton project will go ahead as construction contracts are already in place. The province says it will work on creating legislation to ensure traffic impact assessments are in place for future bike lanes. Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
With the new school year around the corner, the clock is ticking on a potential strike with Alberta teachers. Contract negotiations resume tomorrow. However, educators are prepared to walk off the job or could be locked out this week. Terry Fikowski reports.
It's back to school shopping season, but families are anxious to see if the start of school will go ahead as scheduled, with no labor contract between teachers and the government.
It's concerning. Going to keep an eye on things and see how things go, but we can just prepare for the worst and hopefully it doesn't go that long.
By nearly 95%, Alberta teachers voted overwhelmingly in favor of a strike mandate in June. That gives them until October 7th to initiate job action, but they could be locked out as early as Friday with a vote by the Teachers Employer Bargaining Association.
It all stems back to the chronic underfunding of the education system that we see. Large classrooms, a lack of resources. We need more teachers. We need more teacher counselors. We need more supports for mental health purposes.
According to the Alberta Teachers Association, Alberta ranks the lowest among all provinces for funding per student. Teachers also want wages that keep pace with inflation. The Premier acknowledges the need for more supports for children with complex needs and to deal with aggressive behavior in the classroom, but she says funding is adequate. Danielle Smith has asked her education minister to determine where the dollars are going.
A lot of the issues at the heart of that is the management of the classroom, which we've delegated to school boards. So if we have to be a bit more hands-on, then we'll take a closer look at it.
But Medina Musa with the advocacy group Support Our Students says the Premier is deflecting blame.
I think that is the Premier trying to pass the buck here when really the responsibility of underfunding our schools lies with her government.
Bargaining resumes Tuesday, but Calgary's public and Catholic school boards say they're monitoring the situation, with Catholic schools warning families to have a backup plan for childcare.
Myself, we're fortunate enough. My wife is home with them, so I know that everyone is in that position, so hopefully it doesn't last long for the people who are not.
With the threat of a teacher's strike looming, some parents are searching for alternatives. Charter schools and the Alberta Homeschooling Association say interest from parents has risen considerably in the past week or so. Amanda Anderson reports.
The sounds of students eager to start a new school year fill the hallways at Aurora Academic Charter School.
It's really calm. I thought it would be very excited and there'd be a lot of chaos, but I think because, part of what we do so well at Aurora is that structure. It's so well organized, so well planned.
Its teachers aren't part of the potential teacher strike, but Superintendent Ian Gray says that doesn't mean they're not impacted. He says the number of new parents calling about possible enrollment has spiked in recent days.
We have 1,500 students, but we actually don't have any space from K to 12. Because we have 2,800 students on our wait list already.
The Alberta Homeschooling Association says a lot more parents are also joining its Facebook group.
We're getting 50 to 100 people join every day.
Judy Arnell says parents parents have until September 29th to decide if homeschooling is the route they want to go.
In Alberta, parents would have to follow 22 very basic outcomes of home education. And they don't even have to be met during the year. They have to be met by the time a child turns 20.
She says homeschooling is unique in that parents don't have to follow a set curriculum.
Parents can pretty well choose to teach their kids what they want, when they want, and how they want.
Arnell homeschooled her 5 kids, who she says earned their grade 12 diplomas and went on to post-secondary institutions. She says many are often surprised to learn even parents with full-time jobs can manage it.
You do not have to do it between 9 and 3 p.m., like a school day. So there's a lot of flexibility there, too.
While it's business as usual at Aurora schools, Grace says they are watching what happens closely as they prepare to enter negotiations themselves this fall.
Whatever they do doesn't mean we'll do it. We are smaller, and so, we're more adaptable, more flexible, but we also have different needs than some of those larger boards.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
A group from Manitoba has joined the search for a missing 14-year-old boy. Samuel Bird was last seen June 1st walking in the West End neighborhood of Kenora. Last week, Edmonton police deemed his disappearance suspicious. The group from Manitoba is using a sonar device to search the North Saskatchewan River. Samuel's mother says she's grateful for the additional help to find her missing son.
Having that support and having that, I don't know how to explain it. It's very heartwarming. Like I honestly, there's so many people that message me and I became good friends with, and it's good to have a good support system.
Bird is 5'8" with a slim build. He has brown eyes and brown hair. For the first time, the University of Alberta is sending first-year medical students to Grande Prairie to complete their education. As CTV's Merrick DeCash reports, it's an effort to increase the number of doctors in rural Alberta.
Megan Hopkins is getting fitted for a new white jacket. She's a first-year medical student at the University of Alberta.
When the opportunity came up to do medical school in my home community, it was an opportunity I was very excited for.
192 students are starting medical school at the U of A this year. 30 of them are enrolled in the Northern Alberta Medical Program. Students will finish their education at Northwestern Polytechnic in Grande Prairie, Hopkins' hometown.
You kind of get to be a jack of all trades. I found when I was doing some things in the city, I personally really loved being able to go back to rural and get to do a little bit of everything.
The U of A created the program to address shortages in the medical field, particularly in rural Alberta.
The benefit of this program is not only graduating a larger number of students total, but it connects those students to different places where they'll be providing more broad care across the entire lifespan of patients and their families.
This is the first time the university is sending first-year medical students away to complete their studies.
The farther away you get from a central place like Edmonton, the greater the breadth of learning, the greater the breadth of care provision that the doctors and nurses need to provide to those patients.
Hopkins and her classmates will begin their studies in Grande Prairie next week.
My biggest hope for the program is to be able to show others why the North is so great and why rural is awesome.
Northwestern Polytechnic will host the students while the U of A will be responsible for program delivery and academic accreditation. Merrick DeCash, CTV News, Edmonton.
Premier Danielle Smith says other provinces may regret offering the COVID-19 vaccine for free. On Friday, the province outlined its plan for the vaccine in the fall. Frontline healthcare workers, seniors in continuing care and supportive living, and those with underlying medical conditions will get shots free of charge. Everyone else will have to pay a $100 fee. BC and Manitoba say they're willing to give COVID vaccines to all Canadians free of charge. Saskatchewan will only provide the shot to Albertans living in Lloydminster. During her call-in radio show on Saturday, the Premier talked about how much vaccine waste costs and said other provinces may wish they would have followed Alberta's lead and charged for the shot.
I don't think that they've done the analysis that we've done. If they, I think they're going to be a bit shocked after they have to pay for it themselves, and they're doing the analysis that we've already done, how much ends up going to waste. And so it's an expensive shot. And so we want to make sure that those who need it, who are immunocompromised, get it at no charge. And those who want it just for that extra measure of peace of mind, they can pay for it.
The new COVID-19 vaccine will be available starting in October. You can register for your dose now. The provincial government has created a panel to determine the future of nuclear power in Alberta. The panel will engage with industry, municipalities, and others to create a report for the government. There will also be an online survey for all Albertans that will be open until September the 25th. The Alberta nuclear industry would be used to produce power as well as radioisotopes to use in medicine. The panel is made up of Indigenous business interests, experts on the business of nuclear power, and an American market research firm. It's move-in day for first-year University of Alberta students. Students coming from around the world are in Edmonton ahead of the school year. The university hosted an event today for students to learn what's available on campus and to help them settle into dorms. Students say they're feeling a mix of emotions.
I think it's pretty cool, and it's really overwhelming. There's more people here in this one event in this parking lot than there is in my entire hometown.
There's always nerves because, of course, really what you want to do is make sure that the incoming students have the best possible experience, and their parents give them a great impression.
Classes start next Tuesday. Edmonton is under a heat warning as high temperatures move into the prairies this week.
It's not like a one-off, one-day or a two-day event. This is like could be a six-day event. I mean, quite unusual. Something you wouldn't see maybe in a half a century in the Edmonton area.
The city has activated its extreme weather response. City facilities will be open to anyone needing a break from the heat. Peace officers will also be handing out water bottles. Environment Canada's senior climatologist David Phillips says because the days are shorter, we'll get a bit of a reprieve from the heat. He also says thanks to a wetter, cooler start to summer, Alberta's wildfire risk should stay relatively low.
It's been great for gardening and for farmers have to be happy. And now this warmth, boy, it's just great. I mean, you'd want to bottle this kind of summer up for other years.
All right, Josh, we're not really used to that heat out there today.
No, you heard David Phillips talking about it, you know, 6 straight days in the 30s doesn't happen all that often. It's only happened 3 times on record, although 2 of those 3 were since 2020. So it does happen a little more often in recent history. 2021 and 2024, we had lengthy stretches of 30 consecutive days. Today was the first of what potentially could be a 6-day stretch. We got to 30.2 for a daytime high. Over the weekend, it was 25 Saturday and 28 on Sunday. You get some 28s there at the airports and 27s west and east of the city. Record daytime high for today, 30.4. So 8 degrees above average and just 0.2 of a degree, offsetting a record for today. That record dates back to 2002. As mentioned off the top of the newscast, I think we have a chance at setting at least 1, maybe 3 record highs this week as temperatures stay in the low 30s. Right through into the weekend. Fairly clear skies for most of the province. There was a little bit of thin cloud cover around Edmonton and off to the northeast, but that'll clear out. And then you have a couple scattered showers and some isolated thunderstorms over the terrain in through the foothills. There might be 1 or 2 of those storms that pushes southeast through the Olds region late this evening or overnight tonight, but there is nothing for precipitation in the Edmonton area, not only for the next 24 hours, but for the next 5 to maybe 10 days. 14 degrees tomorrow morning, 31 and sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk a little bit more about those potential records in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Still ahead on CTV News at 6, animal rescue struggling.
Non-stop surrenders, emergencies, you name it, puppies dumped, dogs left alone in the woods.
Growing need on top of already stretched budgets and Edmonton's first Pride Parade since 2018.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Animal rescue organizations in this province are struggling. There's been an increase in the number of animals that need help, and costs are rising. Amanda Anderson reports.
When this dog needed help, the Second Chance Animal Rescue Society answered.
Calls for help are nonstop, surrenders, emergencies, you name it, puppies dumped, dogs left alone in the woods. So we try not to say no to any of those.
But always saying yes has put the rescue in a tough situation.
It's stretched us to the max. We're on a razor's edge financially and as far as space-wise goes too.
Animal rescues across the province say the number of animals they help has skyrocketed.
Since COVID, we have very few vet appointments, not like we did before. So the dogs and cats are exploding with litters and we're not able to get ahead of that.
This litter of puppies was found abandoned, while this litter was recently surrendered to SCARS.
The good thing is they're in our care and they will all be spayed and neutered.
Feels like an uphill battle that you can never get to the top, because when rescues are getting burnt out, compassion fatigue, etc., and then they close down rescues, the problem is going to get even worse.
Zoe's Animal Rescue Society says they're also seeing more people struggling to afford the pets they have.
People having unwanted litters, people having neglected animals, people, on leash, on different things who can't afford vet care. Their animals are suffering. They have nowhere to turn. It can't all land on rescues.
The province says there are 2 grants rescues are eligible to apply for, but Campbell says all levels of government need to do more to lessen the need for rescues in the first place.
To help low-income individuals get these things done, which then prevent, the problems after.
SCARS may be in crisis, but says it will do everything it can to keep giving animals a second chance.
The more people that know about what we're going through, us and other rescues, the better, and the more that people will step up to help us.
Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Morinville.
Students are getting ready to ride the bus before their first day of school next week.
This way, that's not going to happen because we've created our safety zone, right?
First Riders is an annual event for students and their parents to learn about bus safety ahead of the school year. The Edmonton Public School District says the event helps reduce anxiety on the first day of school.
The first day of school, there, outside of, yellow busing, there's a whole multitude of other things that they may be thinking about. Are my friends going to be in my classroom? Am I going to get my favorite teacher? Things like that. So it really helps prepare families to make sure that they're confident on that first day, and it's one less thing that they have to worry about.
Edmonton Public students are set to return to school next Tuesday. Alberta athletes filled the trophy case at this year's Canada Summer Games. Team Alberta closed out the competition with 81 medals, 22 gold, 30 silver, 29 bronze across 19 different sports. One of the gold medalists included the men's volleyball team, sweeping Team Manitoba 3-0 to take home top spot. Ethan Baradocco says the competition was fierce, having to play 6 games in 7 days.
All of the boys were pumped. We spent all summer working forward and always had that as our goal, but it was really just the process that took us there.
Team Alberta had the 4th most medals among the provinces. The Pride Parade returned to downtown Edmonton Saturday with a blast of color and enthusiasm. This is the first Pride Parade since 2018. It was part of several Pride festivities this past weekend. The parade committee previously told CTV News it wasn't sure what to expect from the parade's revival, but festival goers say they're glad it's back.
I'm excited for it. It's been too long since we had a parade, so it's coming out to enjoy, right?
It means showing Edmonton that we're here, reminding Edmonton that there's a big queer community.
It's been very missed amongst the community members. And it shows Edmonton that we're here and that, it's a large group, makes it part of Edmonton.
The year's parade began with a trans march. Pride Fest finished yesterday with several events, including a brunch sing-along. Still ahead, record-breaking ticket sales for this year's Fringe.
And it is thanks to the more than 800,000 Edmontonians who came out over the last 11 days to support Fringe.
Hundreds of sold-out shows as Edmontonians flock to support independent artists.
And from a record-setting Fringe to some record-setting daytime highs over the next few days. Could see 6 straight days in the 30s. Full look at your 5 and 10 day forecast in a couple minutes.
Programming brought to you by Century Casino. 3 great locations: Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile.
The Edmonton International Fringe Theatre Festival is celebrating a record-breaking run. Organizers say this year's festival smashed an all-time ticket sales record. A total of 138,500 tickets were sold, pulling in $1.5 million. The money is returned directly to artists. This surpasses the $1.39 million ticket milestone from 2019. This year, there were more than 490 sold-out performances, 14 productions run out of tickets for every show.
It is thanks to the 1,000 volunteers who dedicate their time, their heart, their skill to building up North America's largest, longest-running Fringe Theatre Festival. It is the 1,600 artists who travel from across the street, across Canada, and around the world to share their stories with an engaged audience. And it is thanks to the more than 800,000 Edmontonians who came out over the last 11 days to support Fringe.
So far, the Fringe has grown its group of monthly donors to 692, up from 540 at the start of the festival. Organizers are still looking to hit their goal of 1,000 monthly donors. If you still want more Fringe, 4 of the festival's most talked about shows will be part of the Holdover series running August 27th to 30th at the Arts Barns. Tickets are $20. Hi, Josh. 6 days in a row, almost a week around 30.
Yeah, first time since 2024. So, I mean, it's only been a couple of years since we had a streak like this. But not only is that a lengthy stretch that has us under a heat warning, but potentially a couple of those days, record daytime highs. We were close today. As you look through the Action Furnace River Valley Skycam, Action Furnace fixed right over, it's free. Fairly clear skies out there right now, 30 degrees. 0.2 of a degree off the record for August 25th. 28 degrees in Fort McMurray, 29 in Cold Lake. You get 31s in through the Peace Country and in Jasper. So it's been hot through the afternoons, and it will stay hot in through basically the entire province. But only the city of Edmonton has a heat warning, and the reason for that is the overnight lows. There's 2 criteria for a heat warning. 1, you got to have a stretch of days, 29 or hotter. 2, you need your overnight lows to be in the mid-teens, and they will be in Edmonton as you get a little urban heat island effect there. But outside the city and across much of central and northern Alberta, you're going to see morning lows in the 8 to 10, 11 degree range. So you will get a little more of a reprieve through the overnight periods than you will in Edmonton. And that is why the city is the only spot with the heat warning. Everybody else just has a special weather statement, which is sort of a step down from a watch and a warning. You've got some scattered showers. Looks like those thunderstorms are fizzling out there in through the foothills. A little bit of cloud cover spreading east towards Rocky Mountain House and pushing into the Red Deer region. So we mentioned earlier, there might be one, this is a really slight risk, but 1 or 2 little cells that drift there between Red Deer and Calgary. Around Edmonton, surrounding areas, northern Alberta, it stays fairly clear overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow. And then, I mean, it's almost not worth showing you Futurecast because there is nothing to look at here for the next few days. All you have is this big upper ridge giving us mainly sunny skies and helping to kick in the heat. So there's today, here's tomorrow, and watch how long this thing sticks around. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sure, some of the darker spots, some of the warmest air in the mid and upper levels kind of fizzles a little bit towards the end of the weekend, but that ridge remains in place. It continues to drive any storm systems way to the north of us, right through into early next week. So there is no sign of any shower or thunderstorm activity in the Edmonton area anytime soon, and no cool down until maybe the middle of next week at the earliest. 28 degrees in Fort McMurray right now, 31s Grand Prairie and Jasper, 26 in Red Deer, and 30 in Edmonton. Your temperatures have dropped a little bit with that cloud cover sliding into the Red Deer region. 14 degrees tomorrow morning here in the Edmonton area. Calm conditions right through the overnight and tomorrow. And that high of 31 puts us close to the record of 32, which goes back to 1941. Best chances for records might be Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, we're going to be awfully close as well. Saturday will be in that territory. Certainly way closer to record highs than the average high of 21. There's temperatures back out of the 30s by Sunday, although just barely. We might get one more 30-degree day there Sunday, and then low to mid-20s by Wednesday, Thursday of next week.
Thanks, Josh. Still to come, Carney's trade war conundrum.
Our trade relationship last year grew by something like 22% in a single year. So the appetite is really there.
Canada is looking for new trade partners while shoring up defense spending.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is looking for new friends amid Canada's trade war with the U.S. He spent much of today in Poland to announce a new strategic partnership there. He's now in Germany in his push to create closer ties to Europe. CTV's Abigail Beeman reports.
The maple leafs on your shoulders, they feel hope.
Prime Minister Mark Carney stressed to Canadian troops in Warsaw and European leaders, Canada is ready to spend big on defense.
We will quadruple our spending on defense between now and the end of the decade.
Not only promising to meet NATO's 2% of GDP spending target by this year, but the new target of 5% by 2030.
We have your backs. We're serious about this.
Carney bringing his defense minister along to many European meetings, including the trip to Ukraine, which marks a shift from the past.
I think what it indicates is that the landscape has changed. I think Canadians know that the landscape has changed, that the geopolitics are changing, that the threat landscape has changed.
David McGuinty says Canada's defense plan needs diversification.
We're not only making a diplomatic visit, but we're really interested in diversifying our alliances and our defense investments, and having Minister McGuinty there puts an exclamation point behind that.
Diversification. We've heard that word a lot from the Prime Minister about trade, too, given the trade war with the United States.
Poland needs reliable partners that are ready to cooperate closely in the nuclear energy sector, and also as regards RES, renewable energy sources.
Poland has the fastest growing economy in the EU, and the two leaders recommitted to an agreement signed last year, but now focusing on trade, energy, and defense.
Our trade relationship last year grew by something like 22% in a single year. So the appetite is really there. It also means that people are kind of knocking on our door more.
And from Warsaw, the Prime Minister ends his day here in Berlin with a full day Tuesday focused on those same themes, deepening trade and defense ties. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Berlin.
Alberta's Ukrainian community is marking 34 years of independence. Hundreds gathered yesterday at the Alberta legislature. Organizers say the day was both a celebration full of pride and a reminder of the ongoing war with Russia. The festival was also a way for the community to support the soldiers on the front lines.
It's a bittersweet time because obviously Ukraine's still at war, defending for its freedom. We're eternally hopeful that it will come to an end soon. There's still lots to sort out and lots of negotiations still to manage.
Organizers say the festival gave the local Ukrainian community an opportunity to share its culture with everyone in the city and the rest of the world. Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will meet with U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick in Washington this week after Ottawa announced it would be lifting some retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. LeBlanc has said the retaliatory tariffs were a major sticking point in negotiations ahead of President Donald Trump's decision to boost duties on Canada to 35% earlier this month. Those tariffs do not apply to CUSMA-compliant goods, but Canada is also being hammered by Trump's separate tariffs on other key sectors. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers says Canada Post has cancelled a meeting that was planned for the two sides today. The union says it's because Canada Post needs more time to review the union's latest offers. It did not share a new date for negotiations to resume. This is the second time over the past week Canada Post has scrapped the meeting with the union, asking for more time to analyze offers. Canada Post says it remains committed to the collective bargaining process and reaching an agreement. Mass evacuations are underway in Vietnam as a powerful typhoon slams into the country. Hundreds of thousands have been forced from their homes, especially in the coastal areas. Typhoon Kajiki made landfall this morning, whipping up destructive gusts, strong sustained winds, and storm surge. Airports have been shut down. Schools were closed as regions braced for impact. A mini reunion for the cast of a classic 80s comedy unfolded at a weekend baseball game in Vancouver. The stars of Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Matthew Broderick and Alan Ruck, were spotted in the crowd at the Vancouver Canadians game Saturday night. In the movie, the two take a day off from school and, among their hijinks, attend a Chicago Cubs game at Wrigley Field. This time, instead of heckling batters, they led the crowd in a round of Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the 7th inning stretch. Still ahead, a Canadian golfer earning a big win over the weekend.
This week was beyond special. To be able to finish it off and hoist the trophy again is extremely cool.
More on how Canadian women are excelling in their respective sports this year. Plus,
in a time when we're facing adversity in our communities, we need to come together.
Rallying in Red Deer as people call on the province to provide more supports for community organizations.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Looking at the markets, the Canadian dollar traded for 72 cents U.S. Crude oil was up $1.14, closing at nearly $65 a barrel. Gold saw a slight dip, selling for $3,400 an ounce. The TSX down 163 points. Same with the Dow Jones, down 349. Protesters gathered in Red Deer Sunday, calling for the provincial government to restore funding to some community organizations. The Queer Neighbors Society of Red Deer rallied to bring awareness to cuts to Turning Point Society and the Sendero Center. The Sendero Center lost $300,000 and Turning Point Society lost $250,000 in funding. The society says it doesn't have much faith the government will restore the money, but hopes the community can come together and raise what's necessary for both organizations. They are both collecting donations.
In a time when we're facing adversity in our communities, we need to come together. We need to put aside the rhetoric, put aside the harm, put aside the politics, and really do what we need, come together and work for the benefit of everyone. If we can do that, no matter what the government does, we will be strong.
The government of Alberta confirmed it ended grants with some community organizations, but said it was providing the funding to other agencies as part of the ongoing healthcare transition. It added a comprehensive transition plan will be coming in the next few weeks. Edmonton was home to fierce competition this weekend. This is the Canadian National Lion Dance Championship. Teams from all over the world, including the U.S. and Malaysia, competed in the U16 and 17 and other divisions. This is part of Edmonton's Dragon Festival.
In the Chinese culture, lions are a symbol of courage. They fight for you. They protect you. And when you have that in front of your house, it wards off evil and bad energy. So they always bring good luck.
35 lions competed over 2 days this weekend. There were also family-friendly activities and the opportunity to try different dishes at Taste of Chinatown. It has been an incredible year so far for Canadian women in sport. The latest major win comes courtesy golfer Brooke Henderson, who over the weekend won her second Canadian Open. CTV's John Venevalley Rao has more.
Little kiss. For Brooke Henderson, it was a moment to embrace after a masterful performance on home soil.
The comeback is complete.
The pride of Smith Falls, Ontario, back on top and showing once more why she's Canada's most successful golfer ever.
This week was beyond special. To be able to finish it off and hoist the trophy again is extremely cool. It feels super surreal still.
The win marking her 14th on the LPGA Tour and ending a 2-year drought. She first won the Canadian Women's Open in 2018, and to do it again at age 27 is remarkable.
I'm just super excited that this actually happened. It's like a dream come true again.
You can't help but reflect on how, the young up-and-coming talent has been inspired by Brooke's accomplishments.
Look at McIntosh go. That accomplishment follows others by women athletes this year.
Isn't she amazing?
Including Toronto's Summer McIntosh, who made a splash in Singapore, claiming 4 gold medals at the World Aquatics Championship. And then there's Victoria Mboko, also 18, who weeks ago stunned the tennis world, winning at the Canadian Open in Montreal. Though today fell short of expectations as she appeared at the U.S. Open for the first time, dominated by her Czech opponent, a 2-time Grand Slam champion. Still, for Canadian women in sport, overall, it's been an incredible and inspirational run.
What we can speak to is hoping that this is going to change participation rates for girls in sport in the future. If they can see it, they can be it, and they can be the next Brooke, Victoria, or Summer.
As for Brooke Henderson, she kept saying her latest victory seems surreal, calling it a huge win for Canada and Canadian golf. John Venevalley-Rouse, CTV News, Toronto.
Still ahead, an iconic British band rocks out in Canada. Oasis kicks off its North American tour in Toronto, with Edmonton fans making their way there.
Stay with us. We've got another full night of great shows for you tonight on CTV.
British rock band Oasis kicked off the North American leg of their reunion tour last night in Toronto. Liam and Noel Gallagher performed in front of a sold-out crowd last night. The set list included hits like Wonderwall and Supersonic. It was the British Rockers' first show in Toronto since 2008. Their second show is tonight. Lots of anticipation from Canadian fans who came from far and wide to see the band back together, including a fan from Edmonton.
It was a lot of energy, a lot of great songs, a lot of singing along. And, you know, it started pouring rain at the end of the show, like just the last couple songs. So that made it even more memorable.
Toronto is the only Canadian date on Oasis's tour. The juice was worth the squeeze for thousands of kids working hard to help the Stollery. Sunday was a record-setting lemonade stand day with 665 booths set up, slinging the sweet and sour stuff. And the weather couldn't have been better with the warm weather that just calls for a refreshing drink. Some stands extended their hours and got creative to help raise as much money as possible.
Junior Lemon Squeezers are here for a purpose, and that purpose is to raise some money and have some fun. And they set up these great stands. They're all given the same tools by our committee, and then they go out and show their creativity by creating these great stands.
Their goal was 2,500 junior squeezers, and organizers say they were close to that tally. The fundraising totals are not confirmed yet. Last year, they raised more than $465,000 for the Stollery. And Josh,
they got a couple of my bucks. I stopped at 3 yesterday. 2 on the way to golf, one on the way home.
So, so they should put them around golf courses maybe for guys like you.
That's not a bad idea. Temperatures yesterday up to 28 degrees. Today we hit 30. It gets even hotter. 31s and 32s in the forecast. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, mainly sunny skies on the way right through into the weekend, and even Saturday, Sunday. I mean, no more than just partly cloudy skies. Record high tomorrow is 32, so we'll be close, although as we mentioned earlier in the newscast, I think Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are kind of the best shots at record highs. Should still be near 30 on Sunday, but just out of the 30s, I think, by Sunday. And then we start September, well, still fairly warm there, Monday, Tuesday, mid to upper 20s, but back a little bit closer to average by the middle to the end of next week. So if the heat's a little too much for you, you got another week to get through.
Well, it's better than pouring rain all the time for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Thanks, Josh, and thank you very much for sharing your time with us. For news anytime, visit ctvnewsedmonton.ca or the CTV channel on YouTube.
No bad weather, just bad clothing.
No, that's right.